Some people will look you straight in the face and tell you the problem has always been one group of people. Then 5 minutes later, they act like the entire history is about to disappear if somebody takes a sign down. That contradiction is really loud right now. I want you to watch how it plays out. I want you to listen to how casual this is.
I always blame white men on everything. What is your stance on the opinion that we tend to blame the white man for everything? We should. Because every single situation that's ever happened that has pushed the black community and other POC communities down has always been because of a white man. I always blame white men on everything. I'll continue to. Thank you. Good night.
I know the white man is responsible. Yeah.
For everything.
The way I see it, without the white man, we wouldn't really be here in this mass situation. We'd be here through trade and stuff like that with the Americas like we did back in the day. But like as far as the mass comes back from the slavery situation that the white man put us in. So
right. Talk about it.
We literally sold us to. I always blame the white man for everything. She said it like it was common sense, not some sort of problem. Not historical ones, man. I'm so tired of this conversation. It's everything, right? This is not analysis. This is a permanent excuse that never has to look at choices, culture, or results inside of our community. And the same people who pushed speak your truth are real quiet when the truth sounds like this. Now, I want you to watch that same mindset just with nicer clothes.
No woman is going backwards. No woman is going to go backwards. You let the cat out of the bag.
Yeah.
You know, as soon as you said, hey, you can go to college. I don't have to. Women went to college. Women started working. Women took over a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of people got mad. They said, well, what? You? It's like, yeah, me. You know? Then he got all these people, all these young people coming up, and they're saying, hey, well, why do we have to pay attention to this? Because if you don't, it will disappear. That's why.
That's so real. That's so real. And the concept of how we fight to maintain something and have the stamina to sustain it, it's difficult in these times because you feel like, man, we ain't nobody going backwards. And then you see actual government things actually trying to put us backwards.
Yes, but here's the fabulous thing about a storytelling people, of which we are, and Native Americans are, the Irish are. They will tell a story. Because we are an oral people, you can take down as many signs as you want to. That's not going to stop us telling the stories. We know our history. The Irish know their history. The Japanese know their history. The Chinese know their history. Black folks know their history. Women know their history. You can't stop the oral part, because that would mean you'd have to get into our brain and shut it down.
You can't do that.
You can't do that. So people need to remember why it's important to always talk about what you know, who you are, where you've been. Native Americans, they know their history. They know how they saved us in World War II. With the code talkers. It's not on you take it off any wall you want to. But that doesn't mean it didn't happen. And as long as we can talk, we will continue to tell those stories. And you can run and hide and pretend they're not there, but it doesn't mean they're not.
Yes.
Now, Whoopi told Kiki that you can take every sign down and it still will not matter because we are oral people. Yeah, pause. That sounds strong until you realize the same voices defending oral history are the ones who spent years treating every policy disagreement like an attack on existence itself. History is not the issue. Refusing to measure what is actually working right now is the issue. And then there's this level of seriousness.
Bro, just get out of America. Just get out of America. Oh, yeah. Yeah, buddy. Let me just book a flight for $10,000. Yeah, let me just go do that real quick. Yeah. Yeah. Let me just go pull 10,000 out of my ass real quick. I got you, buddy.
So this woman wants to leave America, but let me just remind everyone, there was a woman who left America. She was a liberal. She wanted out and she left. And this is how it went for her.
If you're an American who is considering leaving the country to move somewhere else, make sure that the location you choose isn't based off of fear and lack mentality. I regret moving to Costa Rica. It's a beautiful country. I love the nature and wildlife, but moving to a third world country where I don't know the language, I don't have any connections, resources, or opportunities, that didn't make my life any easier by any means. I was just so scared of what's going on in America politically that I was in fight or flight. I was like, how am I going to afford to survive? Like, how am I going to find a place to live? Like, I was freaking out. And then I came here and made my life so much harder. I just left so many privileges and resources behind, and I want them back. It sucks. We know. There's a lot of things that like made me run away from LA and Orange County, some traumatic experiences and terrible people. But I left a lot of resources and great people behind, and I need to be in those environments again. I really miss luxury environments.
And that's just how it goes. You leave and you will want to come back. None of these people are serious. They're not actually going to leave, because if they do, this is what happens.
Yep. So the first woman, she wants out of America so bad, she would have left yesterday if the ticket was not $10,000. People got $10,000 tickets on a regular basis like that. That number is just a fantasy, man. But the attitude, that's real. America is the problem until the moment she needs the money, the passport, and the plane that only exists because of the country. She is ready to curse. The complaint is always louder than the plan, man. But speaking of big money and big expectations.
3 days before Christmas, they text my lawyer and say the pardon has been signed by Donald Trump. Got me running through the house with my shirt off. Got me running through the house with my shirt off. I'm jumping all on the bed. Donald Trump just signed the pardon. Yeah. We just waiting on the news. Yeah. I'm by the news for 5 days. I ain't see all I see is Trump bombing people. Look, we finna throw a pardon party at the house and everything. Yeah. I'm getting the balloons. We finna throw a pardon party. Yeah. I'm by the news 5 days. Every day I'm getting mad and mad. You were looking like your granddad and looking at you in church. I said, the playing game.
Like your granddad. Oh, man. Now, I'm going to read this caption for y'all. Boosie says he was so happy when he was told Trump signed his pardon after paying $600K. He says he was going to throw a pardon party, but then he realized he got finessed, is what they wrote on this. I'm not going to 100% say I heard that, but if we're going along with that, Boosie allegedly pays $600,000. Got the text that Trump signed the pardon and started running through the house, shirtless, 3 days of pure joy, then nothing. Then they say apparently that would mean the lobbyists finessed them. People, don't realize that people love attaching themselves to the Trump name when they think it can deliver a personal win. Then act shocked when a transaction does not go through. This is all under the guise of us. If this caption holds up, I'll just say that's not politics. That is shopping with the wrong credit card. Now, I want you to look at how the conversation gets policed when you question the framework.
What policy position is negative towards black people that Republicans implement?
Trump this year intentionally got rid of the disparate impact analysis. So what the disparate impact analysis does is that it analyzes laws to make sure that there were not any racial disparities. Trump has removed the protection. So we don't know if the policies that we're enacting are disproportionately hurting the black community or not.
Disparate impact analysis. Does anybody know where that notion came from? Anyone? Yep, somebody got it. Maureen got it. Kendi. Ibram X. Kendi. He changed his name to Ibram X. Kendi. He's born Hank Rogers. But anyway, he writes a book in 2019 called How to Be an Anti-Racist. Kendi was arguing for what would eventually become the disparate impact analysis, which is supposed to basically analyze policies to determine what would be the impact on communities of color and use that as a determining factor to decide what reparations could possibly look like.
You propose passing a constitutional amendment to to create a Department of Anti-Racism. It would be comprised of experts who would pre-clear local, state, federal policies, making sure they're not causing racial inequity. They'd even have the power to investigate racist policies in private institutions.
All I was basically stating is making sure that the policies we're instituting are not going to disproportionately harm any racial group. What's wrong with that?
This idea of a disparate impact analysis is the brainchild of a self-avowed Marxist.
You can't separate capitalism from racism. They have long thrived together. You can't really challenge one effectively without challenging the other. You can't truly be anti-racist if you're not being anti-capitalist.
In his books, he's arguing for the redistribution of wealth. He's arguing for all of the ideas, the visions, the policies laid out by Karl Marx and Lenin themselves. And a president of the United States adopted the brainchild of a self-avowed Marxist. That should be concerning to you, but not to Naima. She believes that it should be an unquestioned measuring stick that deserves an embedded and enshrined place in American jurisprudence, in American policymaking, et cetera, et cetera.
So the point of the disparate analysis report is to check to make sure that the laws that we implement in good faith don't end up hurting the Black community by accident. Why would you get rid of that?
Why do you think he got rid of it,
Because
according to you?
he's racist.
It's as if she read Ibram X. Kendi's book right before the debate, on the way to the debate, in the Uber, having it playing on audiobook or something. What she's saying is right out of the page of Ibram X. Kendi's books, that the only reason why Trump would get rid of this disparate impact analysis is because he's racist. I'll remind you the title of the book, How to Be an Anti-Racist. In the conclusion of the book, implement a Department of Anti-Racism, and it would manifest into the disparate impact analysis.
So they present the scheme as automatically moral. Disagree and the label is ready. You know, anti-racism amendments, whatever the new language is, man. What is it? Desperate impact? I don't know. The moment you ask whether the policy produces better outcomes for the people it claims to help, you become the problem. And we know that's not justice. That's a shield that protects the idea from ever being tested. So after all that, I want you to listen to my guy right here who has actually been in the room.
Why do you think he got rid of it,
Because
according to
he's
you?
racist.
To say that Donald Trump is racist is the craziest thing I've heard.
Donald Trump was
Have you ever met Donald Trump personally?
No.
You don't know him?
No. So
Why
you've
would you
met
say
Donald Trump.
I've met Donald Trump several times?
So you're basing whether or not he's racist
You
just
don't
on
have any
your personal...
evidence. You're saying because he allegedly got rid of some desperate impact analysis that somehow that has something to do with race and it only affects black
But
people.
your evidence is anecdotal. Oh, Trump was nice to me one time, therefore he's not a racist.
I have no evidence to believe that Trump is a racist.
Because you are
Where's the evidence that Trump is a racist?
A bunch of libtards from libtard nation. Girl, what the hell is he talking about? I'm getting so freaking sick and tired of these libtards going around. Their only argument with Donald Trump is he's a racist. He's a racist. I don't know him. Okay, but I feel in my heart and my bright mind, he's a racist. Is that right? Donald Trump is a racist, right? You call it a person who literally do not have no evidence whatsoever for you to call him that. Meanwhile, Joe Biden, Senator Palpatine, looked at you on the Breakfast Club and said, you ain't a nigga if you don't vote for him. Excuse my language, you all know I don't like saying that word. Biden have a history, but Donald Trump is a racist, right? You talk to any damn Democrat representative nowadays, it's always immigrants. They don't care about black people. Now, mind you, this chick is from Nigeria. She's not even from here. She's not even from here. Go figure. She's a damn immigrant. Then she decided to break out a notepad like she about to cook. I'm about to cook. You look absolutely redonkulous. First off, you need to take that damn nose ring out of your nose. You are entirely too damn old to be walking around with a nose ring in your nose. Who the hell are you supposed to be, a damn anime character? You gonna take the one-hit punch man the fuck up out of here? Ain't nobody trying to see that shit. I can't even take you serious. You coming out looking like Erica Boudard. I tell you, boy, these people want to be correct so bad. I tell you, the most dangerous thing to a American black man and black woman is a liberal black man, black woman. There ain't no beating around the bush. They are single-handedly the destruction of black Americans. They prey, they feed, right, off of just negativity. They know they can emotionally manipulate you. They've been doing this for decades. I'm getting so sick of, it's racist in this country. Okay, well then go to certain areas in Africa. They just slaughtered 100,000 plus Christians in the last 15 years over there. Wouldn't that be considered racist? You all need to be grateful. You all are complaining about nothing. Looking at this panel, man, it is mind-boggling that it is people like this, right? And it's like, do we blame the education system? Do we blame parents? Do we blame influencers? What the hell do we blame? You know, because it's like, what makes a human being be at a certain age and not want to take initiative to learn? And because for me, I enjoy that. You know, I take pride. I love getting on. Even if I'm wrong about something and somebody called me out, thank you for calling me out. I appreciate you, my brother, my sister. Let me go back and do a little research and correct myself because we all learning. But why are these fools so stubborn, man? Not only so stubborn, so naive. It's like, that's why I could never do this, right? So round of applause to Tatum, man. Round of applause for handling this the way he handled it, because I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it, right? It's not about keeping your composure. It's not about keeping your peace. It's about you doing all this screaming and this yelling and then hooping and hollering, and you ain't making no logical point. Then when you sit there and try to explain to them, because you know for a fact, right? You can't be wrong. There's without a doubt. Learn this from me. It's okay. They don't want to learn. They don't want to learn. They just want to be right about something. Whatever they're wrong about, they want to make it true. How does that make sense? How does that help our children, our future, right? You're teaching them that wrong shit is right. That's what's wrong with the world right now. What's right is wrong and what's wrong is right. Sponsored by the Democratic Party.
And then Tatum sat there and said the quiet part that a lot of people are scared to say out loud. Calling Trump racist is one of the craziest things he personally has heard. You know, he's met the man. The other side had theories, old lawsuits and feelings. And he had receipts from real life. And still the accusation is treated like a settled fact. Experience is not allowed to outweigh the narrative. Apparently. Now, we just watched people blame an entire race for every problem, claim history is under attack while ignoring present results. Price a plane ticket at $10,000, get finessed, apparently, allegedly, chasing a partner, and then treat disagreement itself as proof of racism. You know, the common thread is not race. It is the refusal to let reality score the game. Now, when the answer is always the same group of people, you never have to improve anything that actually is in your personal control. When every policy is moral by declaration, you never have to check the fruit. You don't. And when a black man with real proximity to Trump says the racism charge just does not hold up, the response is to question his evidence instead of their assumptions. You know, this is the part that should bother you, not the clips. The consistency of the standard. One side gets to speak in absolutes. The other side gets labeled the second they ask for proof. I'm not here to tell you what to think. I'm never here for that. I'm just here to show you what's being said in plain sight, and that's why the same excuses keep getting a free pass. Measure everything by results, man, not by how loud the accusation is. So I want you to drop the word standard in the comments if you made it this far. For the time is coming when people will not endure sound teaching, but having itching ears, they will accumulate for themselves teachers to suit their own passions. This is 2 Timothy 4:3. Y'all be safe. Go check on somebody today. You can quite literally be saving their life. Peace.